Howdy, and welcome back to PowerWash Simulator, where today we're going to be cleaning the bungalow, thanks to Calvin Miller directing us to his parents. Hey Doc, you know I mentioned my folks? Well, I think it's time their bungalow met your pressure washer. It's so filthy it's hard to tell where the ground ends and the house begins. When I mentioned you to Ma, her eyes lit up. Pops moaned and said the browner the porch, the warmer the torch, which clearly means nothing, so he's overruled. If you can give the place a good cleanup, I'm sure it'd give them both a lift. Thanks again, Cal. No problem, Cal. You are most welcome. So the challenge for today is going to be leaving the gutters for last. I'm not sure why that's a challenge per se, but it is the one we're dealing with, so. I'm so glad you're here. Calvin's such a good boy. He's a volcanologist, you know. That's great, Miss Miller. Happy you're pleased with your boy. Since we're leaving the gutters for last, I don't know that starting from the top is a good idea because I might just be tempted to clean them. There's also the issue of the previous challenge in the last episode, but as long as we have challenges going on, there's no reason to fight to make it any harder on ourselves. I'm sure we can go back and earn that if we really need to. I will say the next two levels seem like they would be prime candidates given the size of them compared to the the bicycle. That's no big deal. If we want to try one, we might try it on the next level. But for now, we're going to be focusing just on the bungalow, which is kind of nice, actually. I enjoy actually being able to power wash a house. It was kind of teased with the backyard being on someone's property, but here we are, being able to fully get the whole house done. And it's a normal house. It's not a crazy house. Not a bunch of stuff going on. Just a nice little house. Needs a little bit of tender love and care. I've also not yet upgraded. Oh, trying not to do that. I've not upgraded my pressure washer, which also 3 dimensions, don't forget. I have not upgraded my pressure washer, which means it's not doing anything differently than it has been previously. I do have the stars to upgrade it should I choose to, but for now, I think I'm just going to stick with it. Because I'd like to earn enough money to buy the maximum when the time comes. That's neither here nor there, so for now, let's just finish up this driveway section, shall we? Since we're going to be working what appears to be from the bottom to the top, I suppose the next step will be possibly the foundation, whatever the situation is going on with that. Ooh. That was kind of loud. It kind of spooked me. Okay, we'll do the bricks. I guess it is kind of challenging to do the gutters last if you're considering that you gotta like not get the gutters while you're doing everything else. It does add a little bit of a challenge to it that I hadn't been considering previously. Okay, so that's a different set of bricks. Okay, I see. It's really sharp. So fun fact, in the previous episodes, I am going to go ahead and get these stairs. In the previous episodes I forgot, or I didn't forget, I didn't record the sound. So I was using the lo-fi. So you tell me, do you just prefer it without the game audio altogether? Because I could see how the shrill pinging and the constant sound of the hose washing could be a little annoying compared to just the lo-fi. But you know, we'll work the lo-fi in there as well. I also think that the game audio kind of helps cover up some of my clicking and clacking, hopefully. Hopefully we can... I suppose I should have had a quieter keyboard for this, but hopefully we should be able to kind of cover that up with the sound of the pressure washer and whatnot. Making some good progress. We're already at 11%. Just working our way across these bricks. Being careful not to hit any gutters along the way. And here we'll have the chance to show you how persnickety the windows can be. Now when it comes to game balancing, I'm not sure how they've spaced out the upgrades, because obviously having the upgrade is going to be preferable to not having the upgrade, but how they influence the level overall, I'm not sure. So far it doesn't appear to be too bad. Is there a back porch? Is that the situation here? Yes, there is. Okay. So there is quite a bit to do. I think we'll stop going around the house for now and we'll focus on getting this a little more sightly. Let's get the garage door done, shall we? And once again, the game is doing a wonderful job of just not overdoing it with the textures, but still being beautiful to reveal underneath all the dirt and grime. I assume that is the draw of the game, and it continues to be doing its job. Because, I mean, conceptually, it can't be that hard, right? Conceptually, like, not getting into the technical details of it, but conceptually, just covering everything with muck, and then having you reveal it. Like, just imagine it, instead of textures and grime, right? It was just one color, and then you're changing it from red to blue or whatever. That doesn't seem like it would be super satisfying on its own. And obviously we're not going for like hyper realism here. So like there's a weird balance. I don't know why I'm so caught up on it. There's this weird balance between like a lot of details and just having enough. It's very artfully done, I would say. Which is important given the nature of the game. The enjoyment is clearing the grime. So they've done a good job with both the grime and with the modeling, which isn't super advanced. It's just good enough to keep me invested, to keep me curious what it looks like underneath all the dirt. I'm not really saying anything there. It's just an observation I continue to make. I guess this is the post, huh? This is one of the few times I switch nozzles. Usually it's to go to the smaller nozzle, just to get some precision stuff done. Like obviously we don't want to get the gutter if we can help it. Or perhaps more accurately, at the very least we do not wish to clear the gutter. I want to finish that last. Okay, it was taking a minute. Okay. Sometimes it's... See, this is another thing I was talking about with the balancing of the game. Hold on, I've gotten sidetracked. I forgot what my conversational flow was. Something about the dirt and the grime. Conceptually, it can't be too difficult. I was saying something about balance of the game earlier. I don't know that that has anything to do with the dirt and grime. I've kind of lost the plot. Lost the plot, as it were. I think that's part of the roof, so I can get that. Just not the gutters. Just pretty straightforward, right? That's a post. It wasn't until I actually started doing the challenge that I started to think maybe this challenge is a little more difficult than I gave it credit for. Because part of the challenge is definitely disseminating which parts of what are which. Like the roof and the gutter here could very easily be the same thing, covered in dirt. And again, I don't have to avoid the gutter altogether, right? But I do have to be attentive to what is and what is not the gutter. To what degree, I'm not sure. Presumably as long as I don't cling it. As long as I don't clear it with like 100%. Let's go ahead and get the window. No point in avoiding it, we're here. Make sure we get it from all angles, of course. Don't forget the 3 dimensions. And this is where I started noticing, of course, that the windows are a little more challenging. A little more challenging to clear off. Notably because the dirt on the glass is a little more stubborn. Particularly around the edges. Of course, remembering to keep all 3 dimensions in mind. There we go. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Window frame's clear, don't gotta worry about the underside, so now we can continue on with the wall. House is already looking significantly better. We're at about 20%. Just about to reach our first star. Might as well get the door while we're here. Yeah. A little more detail here. Usually got to with windows and doors and metal and all that. There's their widest nozzle. And see, it cleans kind of sluggish. We might be able to get away with a green to get us some area going. But I don't really mess around with it too much. Door frame, still not clear. So we'll get some detail work going on the outside. Sure we get these edges that'll be difficult to see. I'm guessing. This grime? Yep. I see. Okay. I will say that having the brick at the bottom already cleaned off does help me to determine where the grime is hiding, because I see it's not on the brick, obviously. Which sounds like obvious, but it can be a little tricky. The crevices, as we've witnessed, tend to hide quite a bit. So having one half of it already finished is kind of a game changer. Looks like we're approaching our first quarter. Which isn't saying much. 22% is not much different from 20%, I'll admit. But it feels like we're making good progress. The one thing I do wish I kind of had was the extension, because that would make the pressure washer a little more effective at range, but also more powerful up close. See, now I'm being careful not to hit the gutter, but I'm pretty sure most of that is the roof, which I'll actually, we got the ladder here. Why don't we just take care of that right now? Let's actually work from the top down, just leave the gutters. Start with the chimney. Because having that clear will really define the boundary between gutter and roof, fascia, whatever. Also, being up here will let me get that wall that I didn't get to finish. Which, tragically, I hate leaving things undone, so it's kind of a twofer. We all know I really wanted to be up here anyway, since I tend to start from the top and work my way down. Gutter kind of dissuaded me, but here we are, starting from the top and working our way down. Isn't it funny how life turns out? Isn't it quite humorous how sometimes life turns out differently than we anticipate? Nothing wrong with that. We can evolve as we go. Chimney's done. Yes, I can see how the gutters would be difficult to avoid. So we'll work opposite of how we would normally work. This isn't too bad. This is that area I was talking about. Being able to finish this would be great. Yeah, I didn't consider it really. But now that I'm experiencing it, I think I've said this before, but I'll reiterate. Avoiding the gutters does provide a little bit of a challenge. It's on the boundaries of everything. It's on the boundaries of the wall. It's all on the wall. It's on the roof. It's on the boundaries of the roof. Which, as I've described, is where a lot of the little gritty stuff comes in. It's like I can't do the sweeping motion down there because I'd hit too much of the gutter and could clean it by mistake. Although I think the downspouts will insulate me from that. I think that's all part and parcel. I guess the bungalow roof is a lot bigger than I gave it credit for. But case in point. I suppose a wise man might kind of outline the gutters and then clean up around it, like give himself some space, but that's far too wise for me. I'll just feel it out as we go. More my speed. Kind of interesting to think about, really. Could you imagine being a power washer and being on the roof and then just being like, oh, you know what? I'll get the gutters later. Don't worry about it. I tend to do that after I do the rest of my stuff. Just doesn't make much sense. It's kind of painful to walk away from, to be honest. Oh, but who am I if not a completionist, right? Now we got some free space to kind of just enjoy the art of pressure washing. Let's work our way down this slope. Until we come to this other gutter. I should be able to make quick work of that. Just don't hit the gutter, right? I imagine it would be incredibly difficult if it were... Don't even start the gutters. Because hypothetically I could get it to about 95% on the gutters, right? And it won't ding and it won't count. Could you imagine if it were... Don't touch the gutters at all? It'd be right painful. Probably have to implement a whole new mechanic for that one. Not even sure what it would look like. And I imagine it's some kind of painter's tape, some painter's tape situation where you have to find a way to cover the stuff so that the water doesn't hit it. But one thing I do not like about the slopes is how it can be kind of challenging to get from a strange angle. Doesn't quite lend itself to the big sweeps. You could do this number, but it makes for uneven strokes where it gets wider at the top and narrower at the bottom. I don't know if that's actually how it works. It could just be straight on, and perspective is making me think otherwise, but I digress. Oh yeah, there's that cat. This is the level I saw the cat on the first time. I mentioned it in the back garden level, where I saw the cat for the first time there. It's interesting to see him in several levels. By the way, we should look for a garden gnome. I don't know that there is one here, but if there is, we'll keep our eyes peeled. Don't really know of any funny places to put it, but I reckon we could drag it onto the roof. This is my preferred stance on a sloped roof. It's difficult to accomplish with the gutter situation, but it's also kind of crazy how much it's taking to clear the bungalow roof. Like this, that's the porch roof. This is the bungalow roof. We're not even halfway done. I mean, we got the whole other side here, but it seems like we've done quite a bit, right? Is it just moving slow? It's hard to say. I'm gonna go ahead and clear that off since we've got another tutorial. Still trying to teach me how the game works. I reckon now we're getting closer to halfway. Maybe it's just a matter of we gotta account for the fascia underneath as well. Could be part of the problem. I also noticed there's a lot of algae going on up here, which can be a little hard to dispense with and a little hard to see on the green roof. I might allow myself a cheeky little check if I start feeling like I need to. But for now, I think we're okay. Roughly 40%. About to earn that second star, yep. Ma keeps messaging me. They're getting really excited with how it's looking. Sounds like it's going great. Oh, it is, buddy. I don't know how they can tell. I assume they're inside. And I'm on the roof, so it's not as if they can check the windows. And I don't mean to be an ageist, but they don't seem like the drone type of people, you know what I mean? They're impressed that their son's a volcanologist, which is kind of messed up. Because volcanoes don't do anything on good days. Your son wants bad things to happen. Isn't that tragic? I actually I heard about that in a podcast. I can't remember what the podcast was. I was on one of my kicks where I was like, I want to learn something. And the premise, I believe, was they invite experts of things on the onto the show, but I can't remember how they picked the experts they picked. But the one they were interviewing was a volcanologist. And they were like, yeah, we want. Kind of puts us at odds with everybody in a way, because we get excited when bad things happen. I wish I could remember the name of the podcast. That was like at least 1 year ago, maybe 2. I didn't really stick around, unfortunately. Not a podcast guy. Kind of get into it for a while, and kind of don't. It's like a lot of time to dedicate to something that's not immediately gratifying. I understand that podcasts, like that, one of the draws to them is you can just pop an ear pod in and zone in and out all you want, but I don't know. That's not it. That's not enough attention designated to something for me. I'm kind of wired differently from the times. I actually saw a conversation online where people were saying they were asking questions about a show. And the show was pretty blatant about the question they were asking. And when confronted with this, people were saying, well, yeah, I only watch the show while I'm doing other things. Isn't that kind of strange? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think I'm doing anything particularly crazy by playing PowerWash Simulator, right? If you want to put this on and just like have it for background noise, there's no harm, no foul. You're not going to miss anything other than my rambling. It's kind of like it gives itself into that. It's kind of the point we're just relaxing. We're chilling, creating an atmospheric vibe, as it were. But like a show with content, a show with content that must be analyzed and thought about critically. And you're asking like basic stuff, dude. I don't know, maybe it's not a show to fill out your taxes to, I guess. I don't know, you know? I feel like when something requires enough focus to that if you don't pay attention to it, you have those sorts of questions. Which, I mean, even if they didn't say it outwardly, it would be a question people would have, and they would have to like extrapolate the meaning. They weren't even able to do that based on context clues that they'd gathered from the show. I just feel like they're not interacting with the media properly. And it was also wild to me to learn that Netflix is designing shows that are meant to be played in the background because that's kind of what people are leaning to content-wise. That's pretty wild to me. But I guess that is how the things are. When you see the YouTube shorts these days and they've got something going on the top of the screen and something completely irrelevant going on the bottom. We're just in those times where people have got to be doing 12 different things at once. I don't think I'm going to survive in this new world. Because the thing I've noticed about, and I just anecdotally described that with this show that I was talking about. But if you're doing 12 things at once, odds are you're doing most of them 1/12 of the quality. You know what I mean? Like even me talking and breathing at the same time is pretty wild. And I have to direct my water stream? Dude, it's getting pretty advanced in here. There are people who are like holding 3 different conversations and doing their taxes and driving and brushing their teeth. Crazy times, crazy times. I mean, I have a family member who's like that. And they're older than me, which is baffling. Not to disparage old people or older people. But he'll have like the TV going. He'll be on his phone. I'll be trying to watch whatever show is on. And he'll like intermittently just try to strike up a conversation. And then become offended when I did not hear him because I was watching the show. How does he do that? I have my guesses as to the retention rate of what he's watching, but still, like, how does that happen? How do you reach a point where you're doing 3 things at once, none of them particularly well? I guess well is not a proper terminology. Maybe people can operate that way. But you know what I mean. Like, where's the point where people are like, hold on, I need to focus. I need to focus up. I need to lock in. Like, to me, locking in would be cutting down on what you're doing so you can focus on one thing, but it seems like locking in is just I don't know how to describe it. It's like looking into your scope in a video game. It's like, okay, I can no longer aim from the hip. I need to pull up the scope. And it's not really doing anything any differently. You're just closer. Like people say they need to lock in. What does that mean? If not focusing up. Hold on, I was doing 12 things inefficiently. I need to just decide to do those 12 things more efficiently. Does that work? How does that work? I'd like to know. If it would even increase my efficiency in one area versus the 12. Okay, so we have reached a point where I suspect I should be able to clear the rest of the roof, but I'm gonna check. I got little spots here and there, I see. But I don't think that in itself is enough to justify me staying up here too much longer. Might get this big spot along this. Big spot along here. Did a pretty good job on the roof, actually. That was about half the damn house. So hey, not too shabby. But yeah, as I was saying, I think the majority of what's left is going to be from underneath. I think I could just fall. There's no damage, so I don't know what I'm worried about. But ooh, careful with that move, dude. So we're gonna experiment and see if we can't get the roof done, because that would really help us out. Oh, you know what else? Probably this stuff. I think we just struck gold here. This stuff is gonna come off. That's really gonna round off our bungalow roof situation. Oh yeah. Things are looking much better now. And this is a time I feel like it's okay to kind of spam the green button. I can't really tell what's going on at too far of a distance. Okay. And this one's obvious, the porch on the underside there. But I'm gonna go ahead and try and see if this will clear up our bungalow roof, which is, again, quite a large portion. And it should be relatively easy to avoid the gutter once the bungalow roof situation is remedied. Might as well just switch to this, huh? I feel like we did such a good job on the roof that we should be able to make this thing ping without too much focused work. And this is an example of where an extension would be nice, but hey, we'll work with what we got. We'll struggle a little bit. There's another nozzle I like that has the same pressure, but it gets kind of a bigger area. But I'm not buying that just yet either. I'll save it for the big guns. Wow, this has been surprisingly less easy to clean. On the hedge. Oh, I can walk on the hedge. That's a little bit better. Come on. Come on. I feel like we're getting a little, compared to the Yeah, compared to the backyard, I was gonna say that's getting a little bit much, isn't it? Look at how hard they got me busting my hump. But hey, those gutters are safe. I think now the front yard is pretty much done aside from the gutters. Okay, apparently even Pops is out of his rocking chair now and having a look. Wow, that's impressive. Browner the porch, the warmer the torch, huh? This is the good stuff. Yeah. Anytime you get to slow down and just enjoy the power washing nature of a power washer. Unfortunately, it is a little tall. An extension would not be amiss here. But alas. You got some truly stubborn stuff up there if it's not going away. Let's work from the bottom up a little bit here. See if we can't clear what we got going on down here first. That's bringing us into a more clear understanding of how much we got to worry about the top. Okay, the gutter's not even touched. We're fine. I mean, it is touched, but not too badly. One thing I could do, I suppose, is bring the stool around here, but would it be faster to just wash it or to get the stool? I'm already kind of here. Running my thing over it. And another example of windows being difficult. Always around the edges. Hey. Windows done. Okay, we'll call that good, huh? Alright, I suppose we can get the other side now, if we would like to. Since we kind of got the whole porch thing going on back there. Might as well get this stuff cleared up. So I feel like that's going to be another big bear to tackle. It's a lot of detail work on the railings. Okay, good. Looks like we can kind of clear out the green if we're particularly stubborn about it. So I'll probably use the grime tool just to make sure. I guess if I really wanted to be sure, the way to do it would be to go across the seam with my narrow tip. So I should be doing that instead of using the tool I'd rather not use. As an expert grime finder myself. Oh yeah. Cut through the crud. Not really much to say on walls like these, just kind of sit back and revel in the satisfaction. Go a little slow, make sure you're not leaving anything behind. Don't get over eager because you're kind of limited by the lack of range and therefore the lack of power. Just give the water time to eat up the dirt as you make your passes. Just like that, we're about 75% of the way through. I think we will be once we finish this wall. Maybe even a little bit before. There it is. This one didn't even have a window. This was like a super satisfying wall. Oof. Scared me. I just realized we got a volcano actually in the background. Check that out. Never noticed the smoke before. Okay, we gotta be careful in avoiding the gutter. Kind of confused about how this post wasn't got, but... Oh, probably because I gotta get it from this angle. Yep. Okay, that appears to be a separate wall, so we'll go ahead and get this wall done. See, it's nice to see where the border... Nice to have a palpable border between the gutter and the roof, so you know you're not hindering yourself. Ooh, careful. Cheeky little gutter. Tricky part's getting behind the gutter. Ooh. I don't know what I'm worried about. There's not... I think I've avoided enough of the gutter to not accidentally trigger a clear. But I think the spirit is generally to avoid as much of the gutter as possible, hey? I do wonder about the people who, like, get some of these achievements without knowing they exist. Like, who in the right mind would leave the gutters for last? How did the devs even think about doing such a thing? Oh, that's part of the porch. I thought that would be more brick, but I guess not. Yep, a lot of stuff going on over here. We'll go ahead and get this wall done and taken care of, so I don't gotta worry about anything but the porch area. We could just be done with this whole gutter thing. 80%. I don't know, that gutter's looking a lot cleaner than most. I feel like it's messing with me. Oh, it's barely touched. That's the one thing I'm glad they didn't do, because if they had made the downspout a separate item, I could have easily cleared that one by accident, I'm pretty sure. I'm missing a little bit up at the top. Sorry, that was a reflex tap. Okay, post is done. I think the wall actually constitutes the wall over the porch too, which I didn't think it would at first. So we'll go ahead and get the window. Clear up some of the more stubborn stuff. There we are. As always, remember the third dimension. Clear the sills. Just to be sure, we're gonna trace. Somewhere the frame is not. Oh, wait a minute. Ah ha ha. When in doubt, third dimension. Did I mention the third dimension? This porch actually isn't as large as I thought it would be, so we could be okay here. Look at those stairs. Dirty little devils. Oh, cat paws. I'm gonna go ahead and get this railing because I'm really not looking forward to it. Make sure we get all of the weird angles. That's what I meant by detailed work. Got to get it from so many sides, and even then it still feels like you miss it just because it's weirdly shaped. These balusters. Oh, and the backside, of course. I forgot. I don't know why. I don't know how I forgot about the backside. Okay, post done. Really is very charming once you get rid of all the shit on here. Okay, porch fence done. Nice. Might as well get the porch post done, huh? Nice. Almost 90% of the way now. Ain't no stopping us. As you can tell, I'm just excited to be dealing with the windows again. Actually, this is probably a situation where it is smarter for me to do it with the yellow first. There we are. Windowsill is done. Wow, look at that back door. Sometimes it's not even the texture, sometimes it's just the shine. Shine of the metal or the shine of the glass. Wall's almost done. Wall is done. 90%, let's go. Might as well get this area while we're back here. It seems to have gotten a good deal of the porch from the other side, so I'm willing to double up. I feel like my water jet's all over the place right now. What's going on? Must be the volcano. I don't think it knows where to focus. Obviously, we'll get the outside of this. Get these sides of the slats, the balusters, as it were. Okay. All right. Now I feel like we actually have a chance. This porch looks so much better without all that dirt on there. I think that goes without saying, but man, you really start to feel it. Once you start clearing stuff off, you really just start to feel how much better it looks. Wonder what percentage of the level the gutters constitute actually. Like once it's all said and done, because I notice we still haven't acquired our checklist of 3, which I was thinking would be close because we got the gutters and we got the roof now here. I don't know what I'm missing. %, so it's less than 5. I would guess 2%. I'm gonna guess everything but the gutters is 98. That's what my intuition is telling me. 96. Oh, there is a little bit of grime under there, huh? Okay, I've noticed that there is a wall over here that I for some reason did not get from the roof. So I'm here to remedy this situation now. 96. Still? It could be because there's 4 gutters. But the only way to know for sure is to press escape. There are 4 gutters. Ooh, a post. Some window frames and windows. Means I need to be on the lookout. I would have messed it up. I would have assumed it was because... I'm glad I checked. I would have assumed that it was because there are 4 gutters and it needs to be down to 3. That would have been my folly. How did I miss here? Yeah, I would guess that this is the window frame, right? I just wanted to... Third dimension, dude. It'll get you. Gotta make sure you get that third dimension, brother. Okay, posts. Post. 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 Is it this post? It is this post. And the crevices. Look how much that post is clear and it's still holding me up because of the crevices. Because I can't shoot a straight line. Okay, we're down to the gutters. We're down to the gutters. It's official, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. It's time to do what we came here to do. 96. So the gutters were 4%. I was wrong. I was wrong. Look how hard it is to clean a gutter by accident. I don't know what I was worried about. I mean, I could be doing this, right? That probably makes it a little better. And I'm also assuming that the top is going to be our biggest bang for the buck. Probably nothing to worry about from down here, so I'm going to go ahead and continue around, and we'll get the tops all at once. And hopefully, I won't have messed this up somehow. Okay. I'm gonna feel like a crazy person if I have to go around hunting little spots on the gutters after I clean the tops. That's another funny thing to imagine, the pressure washer being like, the gutters are still dirty. The gutters are still dirty, I know it. I gotta find it. I gotta find the dirty spot. Crawling all over the house, top to bottom. Scanning each and every inch of gutter with a white glove. Hey, we're at 98%. That bode's pretty good. I do think the tops are the big problem. I keep saying that. That's me trying to convince myself, not to convince you, not to reiterate. Sometimes I just repeat things because I'll forget otherwise. I don't know if that's a joke or not. Sometimes it really do be that way. All right. The time has come. This is some pretty involved washing on my part, to be perfectly honest. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was worried about. It's very hard to clean the gutters accidentally. I mean, I assumed it would be hard to do it accidentally, but even I'm impressed by how difficult it would be to accidentally clean the gutters. Well, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think they'll have to say about this, Mr. and Mrs. Miller? peeping the state of your gutters? Because hypothetically, I could tell them I got the gutters and they would assume that it's 100% done, right? Are they going to get up here and check? They haven't in however many years they've been here, I assume. Would they check? Would they trust me? Me, the one who was recommended by their volcanologist son. Ah, shit. Wow. Can't believe I missed that. Gutted. Complete the bungalow gutters last. Well, that's a job well done, ladies and gents. Oh yeah, we gotta press escape. And witness. Hoo-wee. Sure took a while. Leaving the gutters for last is pretty wild. Just visually. The bungalow looks amazing, Doc. Thank you. You won't believe the impact it's had. Ma's down in the woods picking flowers, and Pops is muttering excitedly about another job he's got for you. So if you hear from Leonard Miller, that'll be him. All right. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any messages. So that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining me. Tomorrow, check in and we'll get to work on cleaning a playground. Until then.